was having a conversation about Dan Campbell the other day, and then I want to talk about how good of a coach is Dan Campbell. That's what I kind of want to speak on. How good of a coach he really is. I know a lot of people say there's a lot of question marks that they have about Dan. Excuse me, because I'm out here I'm burning up out here, dog. Excuse me. And about how many questions they have about Dan Campbell, or some of the questions, some of the calls, going for it on fourth, going for it here and there. So it's a lot of questions about that, his IQ. And I did a video on it, Ben Johnson kind of say, I heard Ben Johnson kind of say like, even when they determine when they want to go for it, is Dan Campbell is smart. He takes into account weather, crowd factor, area in the field, wind factor, and he's smarter than people think, And people say, well, they go back to the San Fran game. Shout out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. They go back to the San Fran game, and when he didn't kick the field goal, my initial thoughts, I had no issue with it. Is because once you look at Michael Badgley, wasn't a great kicker that year. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't a great kicker. So once you kind of look at Badgley and stuff, and look at some of the things he actually brought to the like, he wasn't a consistent kicker. That wasn't no 35-yard field, chip shot. So I like that he's aggressive. I like, he seemed to have an eye for talent. He seemed to understand what they want to do. They want to play man-to-man defense. Offensively, they want to be hard-nosed but explosive. And most of them all, people put a lot of stock in X and O's. It's about how you can lead men. If it's all about X's and O's, then why do we got an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams? How you manage personalities is very important. How you can relate to guys from different walks of life. But I see a lot of coaches struggle because they can't relate to some of their players. But I think, there we go. I think he is a phenomenal head coach. I think he's one of the more elite head coaches in our game. I like how he stand on business. I like how aggressive he is. I mean, how many, coaches have we seen be moderate or right in the middle? And they lose. They lose their job. They lose everything. How many coaches have we seen, be very, have a little bit of aggression? Down 8, punt it back, they still get fired. I don't understand why aggression is so frowned upon in one of the most aggressive sports in the world. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. Why is aggression frowned upon? Be aggressive. A lot of times you're going to lose anyway. But kind of hearing, the step, that's just not, let's go for it. No, we already predetermined. We're going to be conservative this Sunday. Or we know our defense is a little bit weak. Or we know, offensively we lacking and we need the ball control in our defense. We got to lean on them. So we're going to be a little bit more conservative on defense. Or we're going to be a little bit more aggressive on defense because we can't. I love it. I think the man is a genius. He come off, he played a role like a big, a big clunk or a big dummy. He come off as, oh man, we're just going to try to figure this out. And we're going to go down. If we go down, we're going to go down by kneecaps. But behind the scenes, I'm telling you, man, we about to fuck these dudes up. Stop playing. We going to go, they think we sweet. We going to go in the Lambo. We're going to put belt to ass. We're going to put foot to ass. Let's not go in here playing. We're going to be aggressive. So, Ben, make sure you got your best plays lined up for fourth down. We're going to take a look at them. These going to be all the critical fourth down best plays we got versus, okay, Green Bay play zone, or the Bears like to play combination, or the 49ers like to play man-to-man. This is what we got. If stuff don't start off right, he don't panic. They stick to the game plan. They stick to the game plan. You can say, well, we had Rob Marinelli. I can't believe I keep dropping these keys. I don't want to forget them. You know, we had Rob Marinelli, right? You feel me? Talk about pad level, and he was kind of like Dan Campbell, but it wasn't successful. It wasn't successful, man. So shout out. I mean, I just think the proof's in the pudding, bro. Y'all people think this happening by accident. They understood what type of football team they was trying to build. Fast physical football team. A physical football team. They know when you a physical football team, you can go play in the cold, you can go play in the snow, you can go play in the hot weather. You're a nasty football team. You know, he forced an identity on this team. You know what I'm saying? You know, he likes talent. He can identify talented people. He ain't holding them back from opportunities. He could have told Ben Johnson, "Ninja, you can't interview with the Bears." He didn't do so. They know he ain't scared to make the tough decision when it come to coaches. Anthony Lynn wasn't cutting it. Put Ben Johnson in. Put Ben Johnson in. I love it, bro. I think he's a phenomenal coach. Everybody be thinking X's and O's, and he knows X's and O's. He called plays for the Lions too. Remember that when they fired Anthony Lynn? You know, you be thinking he knows football. He knows football. You know. And you know what's the most important thing about him? That really kind of was like, I can't be mad at the hire. Excuse me. One of the most important things that he said, he wanted this job. He was willing to take less money to get this job. He wanted to be here. Did Steve Mariucci really want to be here? Did Rob Marinelli want to be here? You know, they probably would have said, I'd rather go coach the Cowboys. I'd rather be coaching, you know, the New York Giants. He wanted to be here. He had played here. Unfortunately, he was around the 0-16 team. Went 15-2, by the way. He wanted to be here. It's a power, and when you do something and you want to do it. Now, it's also a power when you kind of like, I don't feel like doing it. You do it, you feel a lot better once you do it. Kind of like, for me, running. I don't want to do that shit. But once you're doing it, you feel and more you do it, you know, I'm almost done. You get done, you feel so accomplished. It's called, what, runner's high? So, but he wanted to be here. It wasn't like, oh man, you know, I got to take this job. It's only opportunity. He said, I wanted to be here. You know, Monty Williams had to be convinced with money to be here. Didn't work. Brad Holmes said, Dan Campbell said, I take less money to be here. This is a job I told my agent, get it done. So you got to understand the energy that you step with, and every day you do something. Energy you step with to go get coffee. The energy you step with in the gym. The energy you step with when you go to the job. Having a positive mindset can be the start of a great thing every morning, even if the day don't go so good. You know, starting off positive, and you know, in this journey with Detroit, it's not been smooth. What Too Short say? Think positive. Everything else is old. What he say? Never stop hustling because they love to see the black man struggling. What are you saying, Todd? You know what he say? Get your dollar bills. He told me He said what they say. He said get your dollar bills. He told me meet them at the White House, and I was there. 1 in 1 million black men rising. They want to see I forget. I listen to that song so much. They want to see us falling, but we keep on rising. If you know what that song was, Too Short, Getting It. I think Parliament was on that. Was on the instrumental. Shout out to Parliament. Flashlight at that time. But hey, but I think he's a phenomenal coach. I may be very much so in the minority here. I think he's the elite of the elite, and I had to give him his love. I think he's elite. They understand They have a template. They're gonna build around this template, and the template never gets old. You love football. You physical. You scrappy. You tough. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, fast, slow, strength, all that comes secondary. Do you love to play the game? You want to be around a group of guys that's infectious about the game. So, but the way he ruled with an iron fist, the way he take accountability if stuff don't go wrong, it's on him. Come on, that's a true leader, bro. Y'all be looking at great coaches from the eye of, calling plays. Calling plays don't make you a great coach. You could be a great play caller. But be a head coach like Cliff Kingsbury and suck monkey ass. Go back to being a play caller and be phenomenal. Being a play caller don't make you a great coach. How do you handle the tough decisions? How do you handle the schisms, the issues in the locker room? How you discipline the players? How you treat the player? How you maintain your players? You know what I'm saying? Player might be questioning what a coach calling. Y'all sit them down and look, this is what we doing. You know, leadership. If you don't have any leadership and social skills going into a locker room as the head coach, you ain't going to succeed. And a lot of times you want to know something that's very true. It's an old saying, leaders are born. People that take initiative, people that take accountability, people that take the reins, that come forward, that's a talent. When people look to you, that's a talent. When you can control the maestro, that's a talent. When you can command a room and when you speak and all eyes on you, it's a talent. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, follow me on X, Instagram, wherever else I'm at. I don't know it these days. Everything inside the link tree, Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Peace.